I'm here, me lady.
Oh. Welcome, Centurion. When we talked about meeting in the office behind the waterfall, you didn't actually need to enter through the waterfall.
But how else would...
There's an entrance within the catacombs that connects straight to here, darling. I haven't lived here that much longer than you.
I don't spend a lot of time in the gardens or the catacombs. Or really, the castle.
That's right. How was the crusade?
It was fine. A few casualties. But your letters really gave me that ecstasy and something to look forward to. As soon as we left the battlefield, I rode here as fast as I could, got in the shower, then came here.
You haven't talked to anyone else since you returned?
No?
I just thought that you'd... Okay, never mind. So, you probably recall why I invited you here.
Oh,
Maybe you should wait until you're dry before you... How do I say this? Get water on me?
yes, milady.
So, I invited you here as a follow-up to our last letters.
I know! I'm still shook with everything.
I'm hoping that since no one knows this place is here, this will remain confidential. My only concern is the woodland animals that could overhear and spill everything to flare prematurely, so let me know if you hear anything.
Yes, ma'am.
So, where to start, and what should I do with this information? What do you think, Centurion?
Okay. Second revelation first? You're Naya's birth mother? What? All Naya ever talks about is finding her birth mother. Well, not recently, but there was a time.
I know. And during that time, I endeavoured to distance myself, shall we say. I tried to encourage her to recognise her found family as being enough, but every few years, her desire would return. As of late, though, I think she's finally learnt to accept it. She now only perceives Crimson as her mother, and has no interest at all in reuniting with her birth mother, because it wouldn't change anything with their dynamic.
It wouldn't change anything. You're right.
Naya is 16. She has her own path carved out for herself and no longer requires intense parental guidance. If she were Magenta's age, this would be a whole other case. But my question still stands. Do I come forward with the truth? It wouldn't change anything objectively, but would it ruin our dynamics? Would it make things awkward?
I wish I could be more helpful, but I'm honestly closer to Lola than I am to Naya.
As am I, truly. Lola is always coming to me for art and makeup advice, and is also the more social of the two.
Marianne, what do you want? Why do you wish to come forward with such honesty if not to get anything out of it?
Oh. You've gone serious. I don't like that. It's not that I'm trying to get anything out of it. I don't expect Naya's praise or honour. I simply wish to purge this tension and paranoia within me due to holding this knowledge.
You've told me. Doesn't that make you feel better?
It does. It does. You're right. You are and have been keeping this to your heart, right?
Yes, Marcy.
I think I am leaning more towards not coming forward with the truth. But I think I will definitely be writing it in my death note. Or I believe it's actually called a will. For now, though, having told you is enough.
Aw, I'm glad. Anyway, moving on. Your Crimson sister? Real sister? Damn, it's a small world.
I am.
So, you were born as Marianne, then, upon adoption, your parents changed your name. So, what is your legal name?
My legal name is Marianne Symphony, as Crimson gave me her last name when she adopted me as her soul sister.
No, before you met Crimson. What did you go by in your old kingdom?
My adoptive parents always called me Marcy, and recently told me that their assumption is that it was a pseudonym invented by Clarissa, my birth mother, as they didn't make it up. They changed my name to Marcy quite early on, just out of convenience, and I would be too young to remember it being any other way. It wasn't until I was 16 and moved to New Equivalis when Crimson asked if my name was short for Marianne. I had been under the impression that it wasn't, but for some reason, I said yes, and it stuck.
Why did you say yes? Was it fate?
I don't think it was divine knowledge. I might not have said yes, but rather, I liked the sound of the name and thus answered, it can be, when asked if my name was short for it. In the heat of the moment, and wanting to get my letter to you fast, I probably worded it awfully, but I have gone by Marianne for a long time, just never knew it was my legal name at birth.
So, your name was Marianne Symphony at birth, you got adopted, your name was changed to solely being Marcy, then you met Crimson, you reclaimed your full name as Marianne, and reclaimed your last name as Symphony through Crimson?
Essentially.
Wow, that must be written in the stars. What was your last name under your adoptive parents?
It was Belle.
Your middle name?
Now you know where it comes from. I haven't been told of Clarissa ever giving me an official middle name. I know Crimson's is Glee, but it has been proven that Clarissa became very messy as her reign went on, and must have certainly impacted her creativity.
You know, when you mentioned in your letter of Crimson's sibling reunion plan, I do remember her mentioning the idea to me a while back. And I have lore.
You do?
She went into detail about what her younger siblings were like. She attributed each of them to a colour. She wrote it down and I have it here. If only I could read Crimson's cursive.
Don't worry, I got you. So the Red Sister was obviously Crimson herself. Then going into Orange, she says we have the twins, Marigold and Ginger.
Wow, Clarissa must have really liked the name Mary.
Princess Marigold is described as very private school, grammar school-like, and Prince Ginger is noted to have been a very athletic and competitive character.
A jock, basically.
I'm guessing. The sister attributed to the colour yellow is Princess Tuscany, who she's described as very energetic, bubbly, and extroverted.
I remember Crims telling me about her and I was just wondering, how are the two of them related? Tuscany's legal name was actually just Tuscan, but apparently everyone ended up calling her Tuscany.
Okay, coming into our next colour, she's noted the Green Prince's name as Oliver.
He's the clever clogs.
Technically, the correct term she has written down is child prodigy. He excelled in academics, but also had a hidden vocal talent. The Blue Sister, her name was...
What?
Princess Clara May. Why does that name sound familiar?
It does?
It does sound familiar. Clara May was the princess that me and Seren met when we were on holiday. We went to Emmeland for a week after you left, and we were carousing with the king, and he eventually introduced us to his daughter. Her name was Clara May, and her hair was a shade of sapphire. So what are the odds?
I don't like the King of Emmeland. Me and Fleur met him once, and we made him daisy chains, and he threw mine in the trash.
The king mentioned that he took Clara May on at a young age, so I'm guessing that implies that she isn't his biological daughter. She'd obviously be too young to remember her time in North Equivalis.
We have got to let Crimson know. That means we've found two sisters already.
That's right. The seventh sister, Princess Marianne. Well, Crimson has written that she couldn't remember the name of her youngest sister, and only saw her in the flesh once as a baby before the war, and we were all separated.
So, Crimson wasn't thinking of her sister when she met you?
It doesn't seem like it.
Unless... It was written in the stars! You coming to New Equivalis and happening to be both Naya's mother and Crimson's sister? Small world, innit? How easy do you think it is to find the others?
Well, the world leaders are all very distant in order to avoid conflict with one another, and I don't want us to be the cause of breaking this era of peace. What Queen Clarissa started wasn't the ending of the end, or the beginning of the end. It was the end of the beginning.
Finally, a war at last! I'm so sick of these crusades and small battles. We need something proper to allow my skills to shine!
Not a war. We don't need another...
Hey, have no such anxiety, for if anything happens, I am your knight in crystalline armour, and swear by my sword, which I left in the common room, to ensure your sanctuary.
Thank you, Centurion, but we aren't going to start a war. We are going to seek the leaders of other nations diplomatically and sensibly.
You're right. So, why did you move to New Equivalis? And which country did you come from?
Rio. I left due to the femicide rates. 3 years prior, I took Naya to an orphanage in the adjacent country, New Equivalis, here, due to how much safer it is. The beauty of the land and cities, of course, inspired me to return, as well as it being a socialist nation and the closest we have to a matriarchal one.
Wait, you're from Rio? Does that make you Hispanic?
Linguistically, yes.
So, what are the next steps in this endeavour? Informing Crimson of our findings?
I think we should bring Clara May to Crimson's attention, then devise audiences with the rulers of several nations in a benevolent manner, with the intent of seeking out our remaining siblings. As for when I'll reveal myself, I'll have to eventually, otherwise there'll be no end. Potentially sometime around reconciling with Clara May, I will. After that, I'll see if my siblings from Rio would be interested in joining us. My adoptive parents had 2 biological children younger than me, and honestly, going from being the oldest of 3 to the youngest of 7 was quite a jump. But truly, having you to speak to and be here has been more than enough. Thank you so much for coming along and listening to me. Having you here has certainly relieved the pressure.
No problem at all, Marcy. May I hug you now?
Of course you may. You're dry enough now. Centurion, we should probably let everyone else know that you're safe and back from the Crusades, considering you came straight here without greeting anyone else first.
Right, oopsie, this matter of ours took priority.
And for that, I am forever grateful.
Oh well, come along, my lady. Or, since you're technically a princess, should I call you princess now?
If you insist on using the honorifics, just lady is fine.